What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to PlayStation Generation episode 60. We are back from our Father's Day Daddy and Zaddy outings, here to keep things locked and loaded, to talk all things marathon, to talk all things trails, and a whole lot more. But before we do all that, I'm joined as always by Hockey Dad Supreme Master himself, Mr. Court Lalonde. What's up, Court?
Hey, buddy.
That's an upgrade.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't that was probably the nicest he's said something about me in like a good couple months now.
I'm right. I'm proud of myself. How you doing, buddy?
Oh,
I'm all right. I spent the whole week in Montreal.
okay.
It was nice. I got some
Fancy.
bagels. You can't go to Montreal and not get some bagels.
Hold on.
I know Rice likes bagels.
I have a question.
Love bagels.
Are you? I feel like I heard the way you said it. People who say bagel,
Oh, it hurts me.
right?
I've never heard. You know what? That's not how you say it.
Is that a New York thing? Because I feel like people in New York say
No.
No. I've heard
Okay,
people.
okay.
I've heard people do bagel and milk, and both drive
Milk.
me up.
So I've heard
fucking
milk,
wall.
but I think milk is more of like just lazy and you're a kid. Because it's milk.
I know adults who speak this way, and it makes me want to
yes.
punt them down a cliff.
Matt,
Do they
you were
also
born in
ask
the-
you a question, or
Matt, were you born in the 90s?
Yeah,
So you're still a child.
thanks.
thanks?
And of course, our resident Zaddy, the love guru himself, joining us is Mr. Denny Raccoon. What's up, Denny?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good, man. I love the shirt.
Good.
Yeah,
Oh,
looking
yeah.
fly as
I'm
fuck.
doing the wearing my PJs.
Nice.
Dude,
I I almost wore the same thing as Matt today. I was like, no, I need to change. Or Court, sorry. And I was like, no, I need to change.
Huh.
White t-shirt, dude. Walmart,
Man.
$20 for 5.
agree.
You can't go wrong. Fruit of a Loom because it fits.
I feel like if we ever all show up in just white t-shirts, we're gonna give off like big Backstreet Boys energy. You know what I mean?
It's
Ooh. We need
funny.
to make
So
that
the bear,
happen
the
now.
bear comes out, and our
Ooh, yes,
friend of the
yes.
show, Steve Vigvari, once he said to me, he was like, "Oh, like white shirts are in." I was like, "Oh, look at me, keeping up with the
Yeah.
trends."
Look at you. You were
Trend-
ahead of the look, trend. look at
I
us.
was
Yes,
ahead.
trendsetter.
My daughter laughed. She's like, "Daddy, do you just only wear white shirts?" I was like, "Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's hot out. It's
Oh my gosh, it
breathable.
is hot.
Dude, it's
It's-
disgusting."
It's awful. I just don't try. Neither myself or my wife trust me with white shirts.
Ah.
Doubly so once the child has arrived. So I
Are
don't know.
you a spiller?
No, I'm more like I'm very into what I'm doing. You know, so if
Yeah.
like I'm eating, I've always been told that I look angry when I eat because like I'm invested in the plate.
I believe
you know?
that.
Oh man.
So sometimes there's shrapnel, you know,
Right.
and I'm also just a clumsy idiot, which doesn't help anything.
Like,
And you know
you're
who's not?
surviving.
Yeah, bro. Like
Yeah.
I
But
grew
white
up.
shirts don't last long though. They don't last long.
Oh, there you go. I
Mm.
grew
You
up
got
in a
the
house.
armpit thing, right? You know what I'm talking about, Dan.
Mhm,
Yes.
Yeah,
You gotta
mhm,
toss
yeah,
them like
yeah.
2 months
And
in.
sometimes, depending on the shirt, it's even the collar.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm,
definitely. Because you
And
get the yellow collar because of the
Mhm.
sunscreen.
mhm. And somebody who's definitely not a big old dummy idiot. We have the PlayStation coffee Hokage himself, Mr.
Dude,
Rice. Boy, what's
The
up,
fact that
Ricey?
he's got the Switch going on in the background, not the Switch 2.
Hey.
Oh,
I
we should
know,
give him
not
a
the
hug.
Switch 2. I know.
Virtual
It's
hug here.
I know. Thank you for your support. Hi, my name's Rice. I rise.
I still have a Switch One.
Yeah, I still have a Switch One. Yeah,
I
we
can
have
sell
a
you my
support
other
group
one.
here. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens with this one. I did finally get my hands on my sister's Switch 2,
Mm.
and I got to play it. And I understand, guys. I understand.
I will say this because that's all I've been playing. I'll be totally honest.
Yeah.
Video game wise.
Okay, what have you been playing, Court? Oh, good question, Matt. Thanks. Oh, okay, back to you, Court. All right. Well, all I've been playing.
Well, we
is-
were talking Nintendo, so I figured we might as well do the same thing we've done the last couple podcasts.
Yep,
We have a
let's roll.
Nintendo podcast. Dude, Mario Wonder, I don't know, man. It plays so much better on the Switch too. Like the FBuzz, the FPSs,
Oh yes. Oh the Pips.
the FIPS.
yeah.
Very
Fu-
good.
Friggin' Tears of the
Primo.
Kingdom. I played Yeah. on my sister's Switch, and the fact that it was running a smooth 60 in handheld was kind of unheard of.
Dude, Pokemon
Crazy.
Scarlet and Violet, genuinely
Yes.
different games.
Dude,
Different
that's
games.
Crazy.
They're,
You see
they're
Pokemon on the
actual
screen.
games now.
Yes. The windmill works.
I was
The
literally
windmill?
gonna say I saw like a viral clip going around of somebody rocking up and the windmill actually animates like a
Yeah.
windmill would.
Yeah.
But Mario World, the Mario Kart World,
It's
Free
Mario Kart.
roam sucks. I will say probably some of my favorite maps, and Knockout Tour rules hard.
Tours
The
are
r-
Very addictive.
I'm already like, there's nothing to this game anymore, and I'm done.
I'm
Knockout
very
Tour
ready for
is
DK
the
Bonanza.
mode.
Wait,
Knockout
does that mean
Tour is
you've
the mode.
unlocked mirror mode?
Sorry,
Have you unlocked mirror mode
I
yet?
don't know. My daughter and I played it so much that I don't even care. I don't know what that is. I just don't care. I'm
It's
like,
when you have to sit to like turn around from the screen and play it through a mirror.
I don't understand the open world made me think there was something to do, and there's
Mm.
nothing there. It's just this vast open wasteland of nothing.
And find costumes.
Yeah.
We'll do activities to get
And
costumes. rather.
some of the P missions have such a ridiculous spike in difficulty.
Yeah.
I'm fucking looking
Yes.
at you, dry guy, bizarre. You fucking deserve to be punted off a goddamn cliff. I hit that and I was just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I
Jeez.
tried for like 45 minutes. I was like, I'm never coming back to this area of the map ever again.
Never.
Yeah.
It is obscene.
Like, why would you?
Has anybody been playing anything else?
Yeah.
Pokemon? Oh, dude, Matt. By the way, before we get into, I
Mm,
sent the daughter the video you sent me.
mm.
Oh man, she
Popped
lost her
off.
mind. She's already like categories. So like, you know how we get the 1 pack each day. She's like, well, if I don't
Yes.
open it on the Wednesday, I can open it first thing on. I was like, yeah, honey.
Gotta strategize it.
Farming
anybody,
mentality. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
to fill people in, they announced a new like Eevee focused expansion coming up in a matter of days. And Court's daughter, just as I am, massive Eevee fan, so I sent him that as soon as I saw it, and I was like, "Yo, your daughter's gonna pop off
Amazing.
when she sees this."
Dude, she did.
Yeah.
She lost her freaking mind.
I feel her.
Mind you, she just is the new set Celestials, right? What's it called? She just
don't even
finished it.
remember
She
anymore.
got the whole set. She thinks it's it's the first set she's completed.
Pop off.
And then
kiddo.
I found by trading, I got her the 151 Mew.
yeah,
She's
Sick.
the happiest kid.
let's go.
Oh man, I love
Let's
that.
go.
Oh yeah,
any-
we're a PlayStation.
yeah. Anyways, what Rice? What else have you been playing?
Expedition 33.
Yes, you have. Tell me
Oh
more.
my gosh,
Tell me
dude.
more.
I've hit the so I had just kind of put it down after playing the prologue, and then like a couple hours in. I don't know why I did. It wasn't that
You
I
went
just came back to it.
Destiny, you sick little fuck.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, I shouldn't have put this down, man. I've just hit the turning point.
Mm.
And now
End of
like
Act 1.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
mhm.
lots of things happening. Very beautiful. One thing that I really want is a photo mode.
Right.
I really just like found myself pausing and looking through the environment. It's really pretty. So like it deserves a photo mode.
Mhm.
It deserves a photo mode.
It deserves a photo mode. I'm
Yeah.
very excited to hear your continued thoughts because
For sure.
it just gets better, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
wild that it's like getting even better. So yeah.
That's the shit. Denny, what about you?
I've been having like video game ADHD, I guess you could call it, because I've been everywhere.
Bouncing.
Welcome
Yeah.
to my life.
I'm playing. Okay, let's see. Can I get these right? I've been playing Expedition 33. I'm stuck, but I'm gonna keep persevering because I want to beat this. Yeah.
What
Mario Kart
difficulty are
World,
you playing
obviously.
on?
Normal?
Normal?
Yeah.
Normal is quite difficult.
It can be.
It's a little tough.
Yeah.
Mario Kart World.
Mhm.
Bravely Default.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Okay.
On the Switch?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice.
Nino Kuni 2 on the Switch because now it runs a lot smoother.
That's a throwback. Nice
Look
call.
at you, dude.
I'm not done. Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay.
And,
Wow.
I may have just ripped the cellophane off of Yakuza 0 Director's Cut.
Oh
my God.
Are we still just talking about we're all playing Switch games?
Yeah, basically. Minus
yeah.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Speaking of Yakuza 0, I'm going to pull in our first question coming from somebody named Nirukun, Bluesky.social. Why should Yakuza 0 be the first Yakuza game I played through? Is it because I already bought it for the Switch too? Yep. Yakuza 0 is one of the best across the entire franchise. It is a fantastic starting point. The combat's so slick, runs fantastic on Switch too. I've also been playing it there. Just really, really, really good. It's just fantastic. it's was my first Yakuza. And then I went and played through almost all of them. There's one mainline one that I haven't touched yet, but I'm saving it for a rainy day because I'm not ready to say goodbye. And I'm gonna save De Niro Kun's second question for later. As for myself, I have been playing Death Stranding 2. I have finished Death Stranding 2.
Sick.
The review's coming out on buttweiler.net. My written review will be hitting buttweiler.net tomorrow at 8 a.m. The Bobby and I did a almost hour-long review discussion, which will be hitting this channel here. And there will be a video going live here as well. So plenty to come. I can't say anything more for now, but prepare yourselves.
You just said a lot there, though. Wow,
I know.
Jesus.
I can say embargoes. I can say times. That's all of the things that I can say. So tomorrow morning, prepare thyself. Death Stranding 2 reviews are going to hit. And please go check mine out. But why though? And check out Bobby and I's conversation, and obviously go read his review here. So prepare thyself. But before you do all that, and after you listen to this section of the show, we're going to talk some news.
My apologies.
Blessings. Let's go to the PlayStation blog because we got our extra and premium titles dropped for the month of June. This is coming from the PlayStation blog. We got FBC Firebreak launching day 1 into PS5, Battlefield 2042 across PS4 and PS5, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 on PS5, The Hunter Call of the Wild on PS4. Fucking We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie on PS4 and PS5.
What is that?
Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, PS4 and PS5. Train Sim World, PS4, PS5. Endless Dungeon Definitive Edition, PS4, PS5. And hitting premium, we got Deus Ex: The Conspiracy across PS4 and PS5. Court, how are you feeling about this month?
I know people are saying like FBC Firebreak, they're so excited, but are they? Like, I think we all know what's about to happen. Like, the only thing it's got going for it is who makes it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to hop in. I'll give it a try. But I feel personally like I have been let down so many times.
Reception to this has been not great. I think the review, like, I think over its overall review was like high 6s, low 7s on OpenCritic. A lot of folks citing that there just isn't 64 on OpenCritic. You should drop just last. People saying that like the gameplay is kind of jank. There isn't a ton of content at launch. I think this feels. I'm with you, Court. I was excited for this because I have a couple friends that I've been waiting to hop in with, and that like I'm like, all right, again, Remedy, I'm in. I'll check it out.
Exactly. You know what they should have made?
They're making Control
game,
but. Yeah, evidently it's not it right now, which is unfortunate.
Okay. Can someone make up a Excel spreadsheet, because it's more my speed lately, because of work, of how many have succeeded and how many of these type of games have failed?
Live service?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the percentage you think it is? What do you think the percentage is?
90%.
Yeah, fail. I think you're right. And like, this isn't a small studio. It's just like, it's almost like, besides Epic, if you're a big studio and you make one of these games, it's going to flop. But if you're a nobody, it's going to be fantastic.
At least with this, it launches straight into Plus and Game Pass. So at least people can hop in without an investment. Hopefully they made some money back just on putting the games on this service.
How about this? How many months until the servers are shut down and the game's dead?
6 weeks.
What's the
6 weeks?
What's the
within a year?
Okay.
Yeah, I think a few months.
I'm gonna go 3 months.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Okay. I hope that this will be I like the idea of this, but like it's just I want more of other things. What about the rest of the month, Court?
Battlefield, for the Battlefield peeps, they're gonna like it. Like
2042 is much better now than it was at launch. I will tell you that.
It is a kind of a fully realized game now.
Yes,
I think the launch get some players with this. They'll get some people to jump in and be like, "All right, this is pretty cool." They'll play for a little bit, and I think what they're doing here is, hey, get excited for the next Battlefield that we're probably going to announce at the Game Awards or wherever we're going to announce it, or if they've already done
this
it
summer.
I wouldn't even know.
This summer, apparently, they're going to reveal it.
I think I miss Battlefield. Single player campaign. Oh, I love Bad Company. I thought it was fantastic. I even like what was the one where you were a cop instead of I thought that was good too.
Fucking Hardline.
Yeah, I liked it.
Hardline. Oh
It was
my
good.
god.
But
It was fun. It was just
it
like,
was
is this
it was weird.
Battlefield?
Well, that's the whole thing. But
Mm.
you know what? It'll get people into it. It's not a bad value proposition,
Mhm.
but it's another live service game. Friday night, you know what? These are not a me game. I don't understand. People love these things. The
Mm.
Hunter
FNAF.
Call the Wild, really? And then acid trip game. No. Right? That's
Yeah.
supposed to be the kids' game too, by the way. That
Yeah,
acid
yeah,
trip
yeah.
game.
Yep.
Danny, how we feeling?
I'm here for Train Sim World 5, and that's it.
Are you serious?
No,
I was gonna say, is this dead ass?
No.
my
I
dead
love
ass.
it. He's
No,
no.
I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Even with FBC Firebreak and Battlefield 2042, I don't know. This list is not for me. So maybe I'll dabble in something or other. Like I have been a little curious about 2042 more than anything, but it's nothing that's like I have to do it the second this game comes out or the second they come out on PS Plus.
Yeah, I feel you. Rice?
Yeah, I'm in around the same. I will try Firebreak. Just I'm curious, and it again, it's a genre that's oversaturated. So like I want I want to like this genre just because it's kind of where I'm from, but at the same time, like it has to be fire
Break.
to
Yeah.
be like a contender in the whole sphere, you know. So
has to
yeah,
be-
I'm gonna try it out.
It has to be fire to be a contender in the hole, you know?
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
I don't
Yeah.
like that saying.
I got you. Yeah, I'm with you
like it
guys.
at all.
I'm like I said, I'm going to try FBC Firebreak. It's free. It's there. I'm curious enough to take it out. I love Battlefield 2042. I already owned it. I'm a massive Battlefield
Same.
person, more so than I am a COD person.
Oh, interesting. Did not know
And
this.
yeah, and I've
Oh,
saw
I've made fun of him a million times about it,
dude,
Rice.
I'm like I go like back in the day, bro. I've been like not since like 1942. I play like every Battlefield.
Right.
Matt's
so,
probably like a Pepsi guy over Coke. Like
No, neither. I'm a
neither.
I'm a neither. I don't drink much pop.
Oh, not a pop person. Okay.
Iced tea or bust. I'll
Ooh,
fuck with some
okay.
ginger ale on occasion, but that's about it. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't get it. This fucking goddamn game. It's pretty much like a bit at this point, but I've hated this series for as long as I can
what
remember.
is it? This is a real thing?
It's a
Kind
it's
of,
a game.
yeah.
It's
It
a
came out
fucking
for
game. It's
PS2. I think?
GameCube.
No.
Wasn't the OG GameCube?
No, it was Katamari Damacy on the PS2, and basically you're you're that green dude, and your father is that pink looking fella who's the
Oh,
king
for
of the
Christ's
Oh,
sake.
you are
kingdom,
It was PS2. You're right.
and you have to roll a bunch of stuff to make your planet again. So you start off small, and you start rolling up people and buildings and airplanes. and
garbage.
stuff.
Why
It's
is it like
fucking garbage.
Teletubbies who swallowed a PS Vita? Like
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Oh, also referred to as the Dashing Prince or the Prince of all Cosmos.
I hate
There
it.
you
So
go.
much. I hate it all so
What?
much.
Yeah.
And yeah, you literally like you'll start off with like specks of dust, and then by the end of it, you're literally like rolling fucking cities into one another.
This is not a thing.
This
is a thing.
Understand.
This is a
Did
thing.
someone just get really high and then they're
Yes.
like, let's make a video game?
This
and then some people are like,
100%.
"This is great."
There's not one of this creator's games that is anything remotely close to normal. It's his thing, and I know people who love his thing.
Ooh, now we get to see the
can't
door.
stand
We
it.
almost saw the door there.
Ooh.
Yeah, that is the door.
Oh,
Dun, 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 dun.
Is that nunchucks?
it was a
Uh,
broomstick.
they're actually swords.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. They're broom. He was right.
Damn
He
it.
was right. They're broom.
I was like, even orange going with that Naruto vibe, bro? Are we serious right now?
I do have swords. They're just put away because the toddler is now going into stuff.
Yeah, and swords probably not high on the list of things that you should.
Yeah,
be
they're really sharp. They shouldn't be this sharp, but
Every
anyway.
time he moves, the camera moves, and then he tries to move it back, man.
I
You're
Damn
like,
it.
like, so angry.
I'm moving my desk stuff around now. It's like,
Oh, look at
yeah.
that Spider-Man at the windowsill.
yeah, Spider-Man,
Yeah, Spidey boy.
Spidey Bank.
Spidey Bank. Let's run to our next story. Rice just moved and moved the entire thing again. Coming from me over on Console Creatures,
Hey.
Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the
Who's
Horizon,
this guy?
late 2026. Switch report announced.
The guy in the
Uh,
photos from like, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait, there's a
yeah.
photo?
Yeah, it's
It's
probably like
really
10 years
old,
ago.
man.
Yeah.
I love this photo. This is
Aw.
emo Matt.
No, this was way after Emo Matt. This is
But
way,
you're
way
a
after
child.
me.
You still look like a child in that.
Thanks, man. Trails Beyond the Horizon, upcoming entry of Nihon Falcon's beloved JRPG series has been delayed. Initially slated to release this fall, it is now going to launch in January 2026, hitting the PS5, PS4, Switch, PC, and now Switch 2 as well. I cannot wait for this game. I love the series incredibly much, but this is a good delay, in my opinion. They're already relaunching, they're already remaking the first game that's coming out in September, and this is supposed to launch right alongside it. That is too much Trails for one time. So yeah, kick it into next year. Let them cook, let them clean it up, and give it to me when it's ready. I will be there day one. This one, not one to jump into if you're new to the series at all.
Okay.
Whatsoever. But the remake of Trails in the Sky coming in this September is definitely a great place for folks to jump in who are looking to. This series, one of the best JRPG series and one of the most slept on. Period. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, folks, because I'm gonna hit us with two stories back to back, and then we'll jump into talking about them because Marathon has been delayed indefinitely. This is coming from GameSpot, written by Eddie McCooch. Bungie's live service shooter Marathon is not coming out on time. I'm gonna guess it's McCooch or McCuck.
Oh my god, even both.
God, no.
I'm genuinely trying to pronounce it. If somebody has a better way, please tell me.
I was behaving today.
If somebody has Eddie, I'm so sorry. I'm truly not trying to make fun of your name. If somebody has a better read on this name, please tell me. Because if whether it's McCook or McCuck,
We broke. I need to look at grass or something, bro.
Where did everybody go?
Oh, he booted me out because I was
No.
laughing, I guess.
no, I spotlighted him.
Oh,
this is
god.
great.
Like he just,
Listen, I genuinely tried.
get rid of the MA part and then say it again and then realize what we're laughing at.
I know what you're laughing
Oh,
at.
okay.
Yeah,
You
no, I'm
really
with you.
leaned. You really leaned in.
He did. He leaned into it
Oh,
so well.
boy.
Eddie, if somehow you listen to the show, hit me up and tell me how to pronounce your last name. I apologize. It's not coming out on time. The developer has confirmed that Marathon will miss its September 23rd release date and has been delayed to an unspecified point in the future. Through every comment and real-time conversation on social media and Discord, your voice has been strong and clear. We've taken this to heart, and we now need more time to craft Marathon into the game that truly reflects your passion. After much decision within our dev team, we've made the decision to delay the September 23rd announcement. And they actually go on to talk about what they're going to be focusing on. So these are some of the areas that Bungie has outlined into what they want to improve in Marathon. Upping the survival game, more challenging and engaging AI encounters, more rewarding runs with new types of loot and dynamic events, making combat more tense and strategic. Jesus Christ. Doubling down on the Marathon universe, increased visual fidelity, a more narrative and environmental storytelling to discover and interact with, a darker tone that delivers on the themes of the original trilogy, and adding more social experiences, a better player experience for solos and duos, and prox chats so social stories can come to life. Pause. I'm going to go into a second story here.
Hold
to
on,
just
the
kind of
visual fidelity thing. So they're just gonna go steal other people's work?
and-
That's
I don't know
visual
what-
thievery, not visual fidelity.
And this is coming from IGN from Wesley and Poole. Sony has said it remains committed to live service video games despite high-profile failures such as Concord, and insisted Marathon will be out before April 2026, despite admitting the recent alpha has seen quote-unquote varied feedback. Live service, we really see that as a great opportunity for us, Herman Hulst said, but with this great opportunity are creating some unique challenges associated. We talked about some early success with Helldivers 2. We've also seen face some challenges as with the release of Concord. I think some really good work actually went into that title, some really big effort, but ultimately that title entered into a hyper-competitive segment of the market. I think it was insufficiently differentiated to be able to resonate with players. Rice. I gotta come to you first.
Yeah.
Our resident Destiny head, our resident Bungie aficionado. If this is still due out by April, this list of things that they're talking about doing, that feels like a lot more than a few months in the oven. Tell me how we're feeling.
It's ambitious. It's very ambitious, and I think that part of the verbiage and the language that they're using is also. Yeah, they're trying to save something that is in really, really hot water, the jab that, Court just said. And that's just what people are thinking about right now, man. It's like a lot of people have written this stuff off already because of that. Now,
Mhm.
there are like I am in this Discord.
Okay.
I am kind of watching the interactions and the community interactions with the devs and stuff, and lots of communication happening, which is probably good for the core that had tried the game, who are genuinely curious about how it, impacts the genre in and of itself.
Mhm.
The narrative part, I think, is a big part of what this kind of fan base looks for, and I think that Bungie can do that well, but it is a lot of like yeah, they're making up for what is already kind of sullied. And that said, that list is very hefty, and so
And
I'm
that,
hesitant to say it's going to be successful.
and that's why like that list feels like an overhaul of a game that they don't have. Social
Correct.
systems, like Skillet made the joke that like it took the Bungie like how many years to have like a working social
Yeah,
area in Destiny, right? Like after launch.
agreed. Yeah.
There's so many things on this list that feel like new things that they have to implement. And again,
Yes.
these are weighty objectives. They're not talking about just visual fidelity. They're not just talking about
Yes.
squashing a few bugs. This seems to be a significant rework of the entire experience. In
Correct.
court, will it matter?
No, I
You don't think that like if they go away for a year and they
no,
come
I
back
don't think
and
it
they're like,
matters.
okay, tell me.
I think the issue right now with live service games and PlayStation is we're just seeing failure after failure after failure.
Yeah.
And people are seeing this, and right off the bat, no matter what now, no matter what they do with this game or any game coming out, they're going to be like, well, is it Marathon or Concord? Because like both of those sucked. So this is the way public opinion works. They're already going to be slandering it before it ever even comes and hits the ground. This, whatever, the heist game that's going to be coming out, the
Fair
one
games.
that's just,
Yeah.
it is dead in
Dead
the
in the
water.
water.
It is dead in the water. Herman Hulst saying, I am committed to live service games is a terrible thing to say, and honestly at this point
Kind of a yikes.
makes me question his judgment.
Mhm.
At this point, like straight up, I don't care. Are you really saying this right now? Like this doesn't make any sense.
And
Like
like I just don't see what they can possibly be seeing. Yes, Helldivers
Yeah.
2 was a massive success that I don't think anybody saw coming. I mean, Steve and Court and I, we talked about this at length leading up to that launch. Like, we felt like we were the only ones excited about that game because, I had
Mm.
spent a ton of time with the original. I was excited because of it. And then all of a sudden, it like just, it took off in a way that I don't think anybody was ready for. So now they're
Mm.
keep trying to replicate that success. But like, Denny, what is it
Yes.
going to take for them to hit another ball out of the park? Because clearly they're not done trying. Do you think they even can?
No, I don't think they can. I think Court said it a little bit best where, we're going to hear about another live service game and we're going to sit here and ponder which direction is it going to go. Is it going to be a train wreck or will it be a miracle? I don't know why. Read it and kind of what you said earlier is listening to all the stuff that they're working on redoing. It sounds like an overhaul of a game. To me, it sounds like a brand new game almost. And it makes me think about, because I'm a Final Fantasy guy, Final Fantasy 14, when the original version came out in 2010, was a complete train wreck. Nobody liked it. Nobody wanted to play it. Nobody wanted to pay for it. And it took them 3 years to get version 2.0 out, which was kind of like their saving grace.
Mm.
Does Bungie have 3 years to get this game to a place where it's playable and people want to play it? I don't know. But again, the brand as a whole, not just for Bungie, but I think just that sub brand of PlayStation live service games almost sounds like a death warrant to me now. So if a game is out there and it's going to be a live service game, 9 times out of 10, I'm not even going to try and play it because I just don't want to sit here and be a
Like,
beta tester for 6 months.
Even if you like it, how long will it stay on the shelf? We have
Exactly.
we have like quantifiable evidence with Concord that PlayStation and again, people liked Concord, but even if you were one of those people who did buy into it and who did enjoy it, and within 2 weeks, the game
two
that
of them.
it doesn't matter how many. I'm saying, like, let's say you were one of those. Let's say you do buy into one of these live service games, and then it's gone 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Like what a waste of time.
Matt, you made a
Right.
joke like maybe a month or two ago about the team on Marathon. You were like, it would be the smartest thing to do for them just to make a Halo game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I still
Yeah.
stand by that.
I think you're right. I think that so like with their whole partnership and everything going on, you know what? Xbox, PlayStation, put your head between your legs and walk up to Xbox and be like, all right, I got something for you. We're gonna let these guys make Halo from the ground up. Just let them do it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we're gonna close the studio because you know what that game will do? It will print money.
It will print money.
It
Mhm.
will.
And then everybody can be happy. Xbox can have their live service game, and PlayStation can have their live service game, and they can all have it together.
Yeah.
Because at this point, they're really bad at making live service games. They're about to.
Yeah.
They couldn't even make the live. They tried to make a live service game for The Last of Us. Canceled that. A series that they have made countless remasters over. When all we wanted was just a multiplayer game. Just give us the multiplayer with The Last
Just
of
give
Us
us
2
factions.
remaster.
Just give us factions.
Just give us factions
Yes.
back, but they wouldn't do it because they were like, "No, we can't monetize it enough. We don't, it's not worth our time." They're about to release a live service Horizon game, and no one's gonna play it.
I just don't understand how that game is going to work, especially because, theoretically, we're going to have a Horizon Live Service game and a Horizon MMO. We're going to have two different types of multiplayer game in the same space. So, like, for me, I've been trying to think, right? Like, what would it take from PlayStation that like would genuinely
Spider-Man, but they
surprise me?
canceled it.
But they
Yep.
canceled it. But even then, like, I don't see how a live service Spider-Man game works.
No.
I
I think
don't
like City of Heroes.
Right, but then how many of the same type of like at least City of Heroes, you had different characters, you had different types of powers. If you're pigeonholing yourself into Spider-Man, you can't step too far out of that before it's just not Spider-Man anymore. Yes, there are different ones
Yeah.
that can fly, there are different ones with different powers, abilities, sizes, whatever. But the
Man, I
far,
think you could make it.
but I think the farther you step out of that, the less Spider-Man it becomes. So at that point, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
How do you do a boss battle that is like, it would essentially be a raid.
Yeah,
Yep.
good point. No, it's
You know what I mean? Like these systems in the way that Insomniac has built Spider-Man don't lend themselves to a
Yes.
live service game. If I were Sony, and if I were looking at the current landscape, all of the IP that I have, I would literally be looking at two things. I would be looking at SOCOM, which I genuinely don't understand how that isn't out yet, because
Yeah.
we don't have a ton of tactical military shooters out right now.
We
Rainbow
don't have
Six
any.
Siege, Rainbow Six Siege still exists, but
Yeah.
that has
Is that
been
really
flat-
tactical though?
Yeah, it's
100%
tactical, but
Siege,
police.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Siege
much-
is
But
Yeah,
that's a police shooter.
well, yeah. I mean, SOCOM would be too.
No, that's an army. It's two different things.
Sure, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I think you're bang on, Matt. I think a SOCOM game would get everybody hyped up, especially my age group. They'd all be like, "Oh my god, we can all like." There's a reason to meet on a Friday night. Let's all play SOCOM.
Yeah,
Like
yes.
they don't want to do it, Matt.
you'd have people like us buying back in because we grew up or played the series a lot when we were younger.
Nostalgia, man. Yeah.
You'd have a lot of the
Mhm.
disenfranchised Rainbow Six Siege players because they've made a number of choices in the last couple of years that have pushed a lot of the player base out because they've shot it themselves in the foot. The other thing that I would be looking at, genuinely, I would go back to factions. I would take it away from Naughty Dog, have them serve as consultants, have them work alongside on narrative, and give it to a
Interesting.
studio that would know how to build a live service game in the way that they wanted it to be.
Make it a
Because-
survival game.
Like make it
Like
make
Rust.
it make it a Rust, exactly that, and set it
Yes.
in the world of The Last of Us, because Naughty Dog, from what we've heard, basically got to a point where they realized, and I don't fucking know how you don't realize this when you're starting to talk about this game, that they wouldn't have the manpower and the energy to commit to this over years to continue to fill it with content and stuff after launch. That's fine. They
Right.
have enough bones there that they could give to a new studio, whether you want to spin up a new one, whether you want to make a third party agreement with somebody,
Hey,
and
Ben's doing nothing.
make a Rust equivalent and set it in the world of The Last of Us. Make Jackson your hub. You know what I mean? There's so
Yeah.
many things that you could do. Have have Ellie there if you want as like a shopkeep or something. Like there's things that you could do that you could tie this into the world without having to set it around characters that we know. And like you go out, you go out on horseback. You have to go take out infected that are in this area. You have to go collect this stuff here. You can try and make a new base
You
as you
could
get further
literally
out.
make a Last of Us the Division.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like I don't understand.
Finish the DLC, by the way.
Like unless Naughty Dog is like nobody else is allowed to work on this. Like, I don't understand how they're not looking at the stuff, because like fucking Fair Games, Concord,
Dude, telling you, Matt,
Marathon,
you're like every
like
time they
these-
show these now, I'm gonna be like, these suck.
like these
Yeah.
are the games that you're looking at and being like, bet this one is gonna fucking print money. Helldivers worked because it was unlike anything else.
I would love to be in the room. Whoever said Concord was a good idea, and they could be fired.
Concord, they were talking about like it's their next Star Wars, bro.
Oh, dude,
Hmm.
for the day one, and no, I know Matt. When we first watched the trailer, Matt's like, this could be good, and you were like, the narrative can be good. And then when we played it, I was like, there is no narrative.
I kept trying to play it, and I still stand by the fact that I think there was a kernel of good in there that they just didn't know how to capitalize on. It's just like, let me open this up. Like, that's what I'm trying to think. I'm saying, okay, we're clearly on this ship. This ship has sailed. We're heading down the fucking live service straight, whether we want to or not. What could get me? Like, what could be the thing
What
that could do
IP?
it? Because yes, what IP, what type of game? Because
Well, Ratchet. There's a
let's-
lot of characters in the world of Ratchet.
But how would you
Mhm.
how would you live service that?
Hmm.
Because you can go back to something like a Deadlocked and make it like a arena shooter type thing where it's like almost
Right.
like Unreal Tournament, but with Ratchet and Clank. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you know what?
different.
It'd get tiring after a while.
So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like,
Well, no, you could make it. You could almost make a Ratchet and Clank Fortnite clone. You really could.
I guess like a battle royale type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you're
Royale.
able
They-
to like
yeah.
dress up Ratchet and Clank characters in
they
costumes,
they
right?
have enough wild ass weapons from
They
across
do.
entire
That's what I'm
history.
saying.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have
That's
a
a good
ton
idea.
of crazy weapons.
Yeah.
You could start making weapons that are themed for like Ratchet and Clank could be wearing costumes because it's easy to put him in a costume. He
Mhm.
could easily be dressed up as like, Kratos, and then his weapon is like a freaking gun that shoots Leviathans.
Axes,
and
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Right.
very easily. And I think you would get, as long as you supported it, it would be decent enough and it would be more kid friendly because people don't realize the reason Fortnite works is because everybody can play it.
Yes.
And
Right.
so when every single game so far that PlayStation has put out, they're going for like a teenager and no one else. And I'm like, they don't even have money to buy these. Like, what is going on here?
And I think you're really onto something there, because then again, you can have a season of Rifts, tying it back to Rift Apart. You could have a
100%,
season like
easily.
you could basically take each one of the games and center like a season around like a
Sure.
certain gimmick, and then you have it.
There's been
It's
enough
bright-
games from the series. Each thing.
Yeah.
Like,
It's bright and colorful. It's easy. You could easily bring in other PlayStation IP from across as costumes,
easily
or
bring
even
in other PlayStation IP into it. You could have
And it doesn't need to be
Dax-
linear either.
Jack and Daxter could come in
Exactly.
and be a character.
Yeah.
Like, easily bring other IP in the world because it's so easily done, especially like because you've got Ratchet and you have Clank and they already in the game itself have costumes. It lends itself. You can't just
Mhm.
have like Darth Vader in the game like Fortnite does, which is unfortunate, but you
but
could
you could have
have
Astrobot.
Oh, look at
Mhm.
you.
and you could
Let
have
'em
you could
cook.
turn weapon because Ratchet and Clank, the weapons are the crazy part. So you could have a lightsaber as your weapon, and that's your Star
Mhm.
Wars integration
Yep.
into the game, right? And it's
Yeah.
on a Star Wars theme, like you're all of a sudden you're on the Death Star. It just works.
Yeah.
So okay,
Ratchet and Clank actually works.
this is a great idea. And something else that I was thinking about, you know what would work as a City of Heroes / DC Universe Online knockoff? Infamous.
Well,
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
was
Matt,
just gonna say it's
Come
from
on,
this.
Yep.
Yeah.
we know
Yep.
this, but they're never going to give it to us.
I know.
Rice, any thoughts?
Infamous, man. Infamous has so much potential for storytelling, even, right? Like there was so much meat. I'm specifically talking about two. And
But can all kids play it?
exactly. So it doesn't cater to
I think that's their failure,
Everybody.
Matt. I'm like, it's honestly light bulb moment right now. I think
Mhm.
that's their failure. They're making games that not everybody can play, and the ones that succeed, everyone can play them.
It wouldn't be as like dark or as like adult oriented as Infamous is, but you could make a superhero MMO based on Infamous. And then
Sure.
could you even imagine like choice is such a fundamental part of that thing? Can you
Right.
imagine just like Fortnite, where they have these massive events, you have everybody like this side is fighting for the world not to
Ooh,
change, this side is
yes.
waiting for
I
this
like
to
it.
change, and you have
Yes.
these like player involved choices that change things for whatever to come next, and like you still have that had that power of choice because these things exist. I mean, World of Warcraft is a perfect blueprint for things where the players have actual agency with how things can and do play out.
Yeah.
Right? Like it wouldn't be the infamous we know and love, but the DNA
Sure.
would be the jump off point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And then
what
like
would
those
if
choices
you're doing the
specific to
infamous
certain
game,
loot.
what are you cloning? What
City of
vibes-
Heroes or DC Universe Online.
DC
You're
Universe.
making
true.
an MMO. I can meet
Superhero
my friends
MMO.
and hang out and things. We can go run missions together. I'm leveling up my superhero. I'm getting new powers, new
You'd be
abilities.
Delson, wouldn't you?
No, you would make your own.
No, but you would be a Delson clone.
I'd be a Delson clone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like you can have,
There's
electric
capability.
powers, fire powers, stone powers. Like there's so
Yeah.
much ways
no,
that you could
good.
build that out. And you make your
Right.
own superhero and you hang out with your friends online. Or you could be villains. Fuck. Like that's what I mean. Like
Yeah,
Build-
and then you're
build that into
fighting.
the-
Yeah.
You're going rogue, like in the Division, where like if you're playing online, you could be with people doing a mission, and that person could just turn around and shoot you.
Yeah, and just
And then they
saying,
go rogue
F
and
the
they
whole thing
steal
up.
everything you
Mhm.
have.
yeah.
and that's what I mean. That you can have these heroes and villain moments where it's like the heroes are
I-
fighting to
you
protect
know
the
what,
city,
Matt?
the villains could blow it up. You know
There
what
we
I
go.
mean?
PlayStation. We know you listen sometimes because you made our Astrobot game,
Sometimes.
so you obviously listen to us sometimes. We have given you your kid-friendly game, and that's Ratchet and Clank, because
Mhm.
it's definitely not Horizon. I know you think it's going to be, but it's really not, because they're not going to recognize it. It's just not going to work. Please don't do it. And then your other game is this infamous game that Matt's talking about with the choices. That's your games. There's your two
And then,
games.
and then for the adults, so calm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, dude.
Look at that.
You know what else
we
might
just
work?
solved PlayStation.
tell me, Denny.
A Sly Cooper game, like
How?
doing heists and stuff, kind of like GTA
Yeah,
Online doing heists,
okay.
Take GTA's heist
Like a
and
PvE. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
and just
So
do Sly
could we
Cooper.
just do a PlayStation Universe game and call it PlayStation Universe and have it with the
Did they
mascots?
do that on the PS3? No, that was PlayStation
that's in
Home.
home. Yeah, you're
Oops.
thinking
So couldn't
home.
we just do like you could be Sly Cooper and do heists, or you could like be Ratchet and Clank and go off to a far off planet?
Right.
I wonder how much that would take for them to tie those systems together. I
Call
do
it
like the
PlayStation
idea of
All Star Universe.
battle royale.
No,
I
I like your idea though, Danny. The heist, that makes sense.
like, especially because if you can like change the roles, like you can have a guy in the chair
Mm.
to be your Bentley type who's like hacking stuff and like
Sure.
monitoring whatever. There's a lot you could do with that too. Take GTA 5 online and make it Sly Cooper.
This is
Basically.
it makes me sad because this sounds very exciting, but like it's just not, it doesn't seem like PlayStation really wants to, deliver something like that. It's not the
Rice?
focus.
Matt and I brought into existence over a span of almost 3 years the new Astrobot game. Like we literally talked about this game over and over again, and then all of a sudden we watched the trailer and we're like, oh my freaking god.
Yeah.
They made
yeah.
the game we talked about.
Yeah.
We talked about it over and over again, and then we got our game. So you
So
know
we
what?
need to manifest it.
Manifest it.
Will it
Yeah.
into existence.
Someone
We have
make
to
a
get the secret
someone make a
this shit.
vision board.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So that's what I
'Cause
mean.
this sounds
I, like,
amazing.
these are things that I think actually would at least stand a chance at getting off the ground because there's at least like some IP buy-in from the players that grew up on it, and
1000%.
they're bright and colorful
Facts.
enough for new players to get
Yeah.
in.
I think you need more things that kids can play,
I think you're right.
but then adults can play as well, because
Mhm.
I look at Fortnite is the perfect example when it doesn't. I know adults that play it and I know kids that play it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's why it's successful. And then people will be like, well, what about Call of Duty? I know adults to play and I know kids can play it. Because guess
Mhm.
what? Kids play Call of Duty. It's
Yeah,
the
man.
one game that because their dads all play it because they've all grown up on it. And it is what it is. But you can't make a live service game for teenagers because it's not going to work.
But it also like Call of Duty like is built on these annual or semi-annual releases.
It's a set IP. We all know what it is.
The thing is with Fortnite though is that like it's been one thing for so long, and they capitalize it on changing the world, on having actual these massive
Yes.
events that like you might not play Fortnite for a month, and then you hear about like fuck, the Death Star is going to be in there next weekend because there's this massive event going on. I'll hop back in. Before you know it, you're like, oh fuck, I'm back on Fortnite again. You know what I mean? Like
Battle Pass.
if Fortnite had come out 15 years ago when I was in high school peak time to invest in something
Yeah.
like this, I would have lost my fucking mind in that world.
Yeah.
You know what I
What
mean?
you could do with Ratchet and Clank, I just thought of this. Like you could do arena battles. You could have different battle modes. You could do arena battles against other people,
Mhm.
and like bet on your loot that you have or guns. You could bet that kind of stuff. Oh my god, come on, make the game, people. We just solved your
Right.
goddamn problems.
Like there's
And also an aspect of like where creators can also invest their time into it, right? The Fortnite pushes that forward as well. So
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
you know, aspiring developers as well. Like there's just lots of things that Fortnite offers
Well,
that a live service needs.
and that's where all the like Denny's idea, because like Fortnite, you have Lego, like there's all these different
You have
things,
the
right?
modes, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Sly Cooper couldn't be a mode.
Mhm.
So like you start off with
Yeah.
your Ratchet game, and that's the game itself, and then Sly Cooper can be a mode.
You can have
And
a Jack
then
and Daxter racing mode in there.
yeah, and then you could throw in
Oh.
an Astrobot mode. You could just keep doing it and take all your mascot IPs and be like, look at all the money we're printing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
could take all your PlayStation IPs and use that nostalgia on people for them buying skins and
Mhm.
buying guns, and boom, and you just keep hitting them. And
New
then
battle
when the
passes. This
game
one's around Drake or whatever.
and when
Like
the game gets big enough,
Right.
like right, like Sony's trying to buy a specific giant IP right now. And you know what happen if you bring those IPs into it? If you do buy them, if they do, we're not gonna, whatever. But like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
They could have all those, but then they could start licensing and being like, okay, well, here's Spider-Man. It's gonna be a Spider-Man event that's gonna happen when the new Spider-Man movie comes out. Like
Mhm.
it prints money.
and like obviously
They
we would
like money.
obviously we would all rather have dedicated single player campaigns to any one of these things instead. But if we have to go down this road, at least make it
Yeah.
interesting. Fucking,
Yeah.
I've seen fair games 100,000
Yeah.
times across this
Yep, yep, yep.
industry. You know what I mean? Nothing about that game. I'm like, fuck yeah, give me that $sign at the end of
Ground
it.
shaking.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. We'll see what
Okay,
happens.
dude. Now I want this Ratchet and Clank game.
Yeah.
It's an idea.
Give
It's
it
an
3
idea.
years, Court.
Jesus.
It's an idea that I think could very well work.
We were like, how does PlayStation make a kids game? And then Matt and I thought of this Astrobot game. We're like, well, imagine if they just brought all the different characters in, and we got to be like wearing different costumes. We could be Spider-Man, and we could have all these different theme levels. And then they did it, and I'm like, okay,
All right.
that's what I wanted.
Still waiting for my check. Let's hop into some questions because we got a couple to round out the show here. Coming from Black Wyver, saying, hello. What are your thoughts on the ROG Xbox Ally? Is this going to give Sony the much required competition against a rumored gaming handheld? Take care. Danny, how are we feeling about the Xbox ROG Ally?
So I don't get it. First and foremost,
Really?
because I kind of get it, but I don't get it. Is it not the same thing that everyone else is already doing? Because it can play Game Pass, it can play
Asterisk.
Steam. Okay,
Asterisk here.
Yeah.
I watched Skill Up do a deep dive on this because I similarly, I was like, I don't get it. Apparently, a lot of people hate the Windows experience
Yes.
on
Everybody.
Right.
on the ROG line. It's apparently
Yes.
atrocious. Even it's why Steam Deck has Steam OS. It's because it functions better on it.
Okay.
The sell on this specifically is that
Yeah.
it's a Windows fork that like focuses on the gaming Xbox stuff. So you're going to have a separate launch, like you're going to launch into like an Xbox dashboard. It is not going to load the parts of Windows like a taskbar or whatever else. So it's a different fork that will make it a better experience to play handheld.
So essentially, this is exactly what Microsoft already does on their Xbox because they're running like a modified version of Windows
Bingo.
as a
Correct.
launcher on the
Bingo.
Xbox console.
And for what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, just buy Steam Deck because it runs fine on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay.
So basically, why would I not go buy a Steam Deck? So for me,
So-
it's
So the argument for or against it is essentially the Steam Deck is still weaker in terms of just it's
Specs.
it's an older handheld at this point. This will be much more powerful. And like
Can you
things
play
like
Steam on it?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can play your Steam games on it.
So I can play Stellar Blade with no clothes?
You can play Stellar Blade with no clothes.
I
Um,
have that
is the
game now.
character naked or are you naked when you say this?
yes.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be
Both.
clear.
Yes.
Oh, okay, then that's fine.
And
is fair.
I was gonna say something else. Oh, and like stuff like Game Pass, like playing it on the Steam Deck, like it's a workaround to get it to work. This will work natively. So there are like little things on both sides. It really kind of depends on what you're going to be using it for. And again, here the difference is that like it's your access to your Xbox catalog that is essentially being able to take it on the go. Because like with Steam with the Steam Deck, like you don't have access to like your Xbox games unless they're on Steam, right?
Got it.
Right.
You can stream Game Pass, yes, but like you couldn't, like, if I own whatever, like, fucking Microsoft Flight Simulator, and because of Play Anywhere, I also have that PC version of the game on my PC.
Yeah.
I can't download the PC version because it requires the Xbox storefront. That doesn't exist on Steam Deck, which means you would have to then, either find a workaround if one exists, or you just stream it. This would be like a direct way for you to play this.
So
So what I'm hearing is, if I have a Steam Deck or a Switch 2, if I have a Steam Deck, I'm basically paying for some sort of software loophole to let me play Xbox on this Xbox Ally.
You're not paying for the software loophole. You're just getting
Well, you know
the
what I mean. Like, I'm getting the
Yeah,
software
if you were-
loophole,
if
but I
you
have to
were-
buy a
y-
whole new machine.
Yeah, and it would cost you much more.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's my thought, and I'm not trying to insult Xbox here. I'm trying my best. I truly am.
Uh-oh.
No one bought the console. Why is anybody buying this?
And that's where I start to come in on this. I think this is
You
a cool
kept going.
idea.
They could play all these games. Who cares?
Well, it's just it's what is the value proposition, right? For me,
Sure.
the Steam Deck is cheaper. It runs things as well as you possibly can. The Switch 2 is now out. Like, at least with the theoretical PlayStation handheld, this thing that's nebulous, that's going to be launching alongside the PS6, evidently, is that like you can play your PlayStation games natively. So it's not this portal, because you don't have to have an internet connection if you want to play Stellar Blade naked. You'll be able to do that natively on this device. So but again, even now with PlayStation now bringing stuff over a year later, like, there's, for patient gamers, again, it's a tougher sell. I don't think that PlayStation will be looking at the ROG Xbox Ally as competition. I think they'll be looking at the Switch and the Steam Deck.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
I think that the ROG is already a highly niche and, like, high level thing for an area that is already small and niche. Like, the Switch 2 outsold everything the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally have done in a matter of days.
Yep.
Yeah.
Days.
24 hours.
Like,
Mhm.
and those two things combined.
Matt, do you just think that ROG went to Xbox and was like, "Here's some money. Can we?"
I think the other way around.
Oh, really? That's even worse.
I would say Xbox went to them and were like,
yeah.
Xbox-
100%.
I would say
Kids-
Xbox
kids-
went to them and they were like, give us a branded machine
Kid,
because we
okay.
want to make our own.
We just fixed PlayStation's live service. Rice, my boy.
Yes,
Go
sir.
to go to the Green Overlords and have a little conversation with them and be like, "Hey, guys."
Just make
I
me
have
laugh.
no power.
Well, yeah, I guess
Right.
that's
Don't
gone
ever
now,
say
eh?
that. You
Oh,
do
okay.
have power.
Well,
Okay.
that's gone now. That power's gone.
I have no power.
Well, how about this? Somebody, whoever's ever going to be in front of Xbox, get your sister to do this. Get her to go talk to them. and be like,
Naomi?
Yes.
Yeah,
Get
go.
Naomi,
listen.
go talk to them and be like, here's the deal. Console market, handheld market.
Mm.
You ain't that anymore. But you know what you are? You make games.
You punch out some
Yes.
good games.
Worry
Yes.
about those.
Exactly.
Fix
that.
Starfield because it's a buggy mess. Stop bringing out peripherals and hardware that no one wants.
Yeah.
Except
yeah.
like the 5 people that scream at the Xbox event and then still don't go buy Final Fantasy. Just
Now you tickled Denny with that one. Okay, this handheld is essentially like there are smartphone enthusiasts and
Yep.
they will buy like a very high spec phone.
okay. So
just
what
to
do you think the
have
sales
that.
will be?
Oh, low. There's a small group of people that are excited about this because of the specs.
And they're putting out
because
2
of
different
the-
colors too, right? Black and a white one.
Yeah,
Oh.
black
One
and
of them
white
is-
Well, are
one
they
of the-
putting
one
out two
of-
different SKUs?
The two different SKUs. It's not even just colors. The black one is a higher end model.
It's more
Yeah.
powerful. Yeah.
Ally X or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And the thing is,
Yes.
it's handhelds are still in an interesting place because no matter how much you pump into them, you're still at the mercy of the battery.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So unless
That,
they have
yeah.
some like brilliant battery optimization that like the ROG is already known for having a terrible battery. Like you get like 2 hours out of that thing if you're lucky, depending on what you're playing. So
Yeah.
it's like if you're already now going to have an even higher like level, like at least PlayStation has the value proposition of you can play all of your PlayStation games when you buy them on PlayStation, you can play them on the PlayStation Vita 2, no streaming required. You can play them, on this handheld a year earlier than you'd be able to play them on your Steam Deck or XYZ. There's at least a value proposition there that I don't think the ROG Xbox Ally has, because you can already do these things on the base Ally. It just takes a little bit more work.
Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe it's also a cultural thing, because all of these handhelds, your Steam Decks, your ROG Allies, these are, I'm assuming, targeted at PC gamers. People who are
100%.
generally used to sitting
yeah.
in a battle station.
Who here
and
has a handheld that's not a Switch 2 or a Switch?
do
sorry.
emulation stations count?
No.
Okay.
No, like.
Oh wait,
the
that's not a
current-
Switch 2. Yeah, I have a Portal.
Oh, okay.
I have a Portal.
But that's not. I don't count. The Portal is
That's
just a
a-
glorified iPad.
If it-
Let's be
yeah,
That's an
honest.
asterisk one.
Yeah, thank you. I agree, because I had the
Yeah.
thing. I think it's great, and I actually, now that I'm traveling for work, kind of want to get a Portal.
You
But
want
I'm
mine?
not, because my iPad, it's working. The iPad,
Mine's collecting
my
dust. You
iPad-
want mine?
so I have an iPad, and I just bring the iPad, and I bring DualSense, and it works. But I think Matt, who buys everything, so let's cancel out Matt.
I'm a
Steam
sucker.
Deck has its people that bought it, but it's
Yeah.
not gaining traction when you
No.
look at the sales.
It's
I
because it's
look-
old. It's old now, right?
Exactly.
Like
It's not the Switch though. Even when it's old, just keeps selling and selling and selling because
Mhm.
it's got
Yeah.
IP. The
Yeah.
problem is IP, and Xbox right now, people know they can play their games everywhere. So give me a reason why I need to buy this thing that I don't already need to do with I could buy an old Steam Deck, or I can. There's just no reason to buy the thing. There's no reason.
not. And again, if this was like a $300 thing, which again is obviously completely unrealistic, like
It's like $600, guarantee it.
$1,000, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna
easy
be
Canadian.
Base
Oh,
model
yeah,
probably
yeah,
like
yeah,
800
yeah, yeah,
bucks.
yeah.
Especially for the higher level edition, it's gonna be at least $1,000. If this was somehow like a $300 thing that you could take on the go with you and be able to play these things, okay, I can start to see the argument for somebody who's very much into the ecosystem. Okay, that's fine. But like, are you gonna spend $1,000 on this that you can play the same games that you can already play elsewhere, or are you gonna grab a Switch 2?
Yeah, exactly. It's not like this is a handheld. Like, it's not like there are consumers out there, or a large chunk of consumers, that the handheld is going to be their primary system.
Mhm.
This is an add-on to their current setup. Or, I mean, I don't know. Like, you're right about it being such a weird time for handhelds. It's still kind of in this, like, the Switch 2 is king right now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's gonna take that top spot for a while, and people are gonna take those games on the go. Over
Bryce,
all
you're an
of the other
Xbox
stuff.
player. Is there ever
Sure.
a time where you're like, hey, well, no, I know you play. I'm just saying, you out of all of us here, you probably play more Xbox than any of us. But what I'm saying is, did you ever sit there and go, damn, I wish you could play this on the go?
It wasn't a need that I was looking for, right? It's
See?
cool that it's there now, and like streaming on any.
But
you know,
would you
whatever
rather play your
platform.
Switch on the go or an Xbox on the go? There's probably some PlayStation titles that you would love to play on the go, because I know you play Destiny, and I know Denny would be like, damn, if I could play Final Fantasy on the go, that makes my life easy.
You can
That's the only reason why
you
I
can
ever
on-
did PlayStation streaming, was because
You
I played
can-
Final Fantasy 16 the whole time.
But
You can play
immediately.
PlayStation Final Fantasy 14 on the go on the Steam Deck, and
Well,
it's
there you
fantastic.
go. Well, again, what I'm saying
Don't
is,
fucking do this to me,
the
Matt. Don't
Xbox-
fucking do this to
the
me.
Xbox handheld doesn't have the IP to make this thing worth anything.
No,
And you want to
No.
know what even more than that? It doesn't have the brand power anymore.
You're right.
Like if I go to if I'm somebody who's tangentially into gaming, let's say my kids are into it, I know what the new Nintendo is. I understand that even though I'm spending $800, that price tag, looking at it, okay, fine, this is a new Nintendo. Mario's going to be here. Donkey Kong's going to be here. Even like at Pokemon, even at like base level, there's an understanding there. You walk into a store and you see a Steam Deck, or you see an ROG, anything, even if you have Xbox on the name, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? Why is this $1,200?
Yep.
PlayStation again falls more, I think, on the Nintendo side, where people will walk in and see a PlayStation branded handheld, one that's made by PlayStation, that carries the same, I'm sure, color scheme and everything else that the new PS6 will, and they can say, okay, again, I understand this IP, I understand this as a brand, what the benefit is for me here.
for sure.
And I can buy into this regardless of if I have a PS6 or not, because maybe it will be an entry point for people who don't have a PS6 yet, but want to be able to play the new games on the go. Here's a way to do it. If they implement PSSR, right? Which I'm sure that they will. They'd be fucking stupid not to. Then you have a lot of performance here that you can pull out of it. It has the brand and the IP tie-in, even out before you even get to the games of, okay, I understand PlayStation. My parents understand PlayStation. My grandparents fucking understand PlayStation and Nintendo because, again, they've been here long enough. Steam, ROG, even Xbox now, they don't carry that same weight.
Is Xbox feeling like more like a PC company more and more, and they
I
make
think so.
games?
Sure.
I think so.
Well, and like, what about all of the money spent on the marketing of your microwave being an Xbox?
Oh, for
Or
God's
you know what I
sake.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
everything's
this
an
is an
Xbox.
That's an
Xbox, right?
Xbox.
Yeah.
So kind of releasing this handheld, a lot of people were like, "Well, I thought I already had an Xbox."
Yeah,
handheld,
good,
you know what I
very good
mean?
point,
Very
right?
well
Very
said.
good point.
So it's
Yeah.
it was just a little confusing. It's like, oh, you're releasing a handheld, cool, but wait, really?
But
It was just super
my
confusing.
phone
You
is
just told
already
me
an
my
Xbox.
you also I'll say this. If you have already an Xbox console, and I hate to say it, and you have a tablet, guess what? You don't need this thing.
You don't need it.
Because you can just play your games just like Matt was talking about. The games that you have in your library, guess what? You can just play them
Yeah,
on
man.
the
even if you
There's-
don't have an Xbox, you just pay for Game Pass and you can still
Yep.
play it on your tablet. You
Yeah.
can still
Still
stream and
play it.
Just
play.
an app. Yeah, you're right.
There's already a product out there. I don't know if you guys know about it, but the Logitech G Cloud.
Yep.
It is a $400 handheld that has access to cloud gaming, NVIDIA GeForce, and Xbox Game Pass.
Mr.
So
Midas
again-
swears by his.
Yeah, so there
Right.
you go.
Yeah,
You've got
yeah,
a
yeah.
$400 alternative. Why am I going to pay $1,000 just because it's got the Xbox branding on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no one. I think Matt. I think we've hit it like Matt to say the brand itself is it's kind of poo poo.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
the
it's
Xbox
just-
brand is right up there with PlayStation. Just brought out another live service game. Yawn. I'm not even going to try it.
Right.
It's
Like
right.
what?
It's in the same category.
And again, it's
What
unfortunate
Jesus,
is
because
stop touching
Xbox?
things.
I know.
what is Xbox? Because again, like the games are
What
good
is
now.
Xbox?
They hit a point now where their games are great. But if you can play them anywhere and everything's an Xbox, I don't need this new thing that cost me $1,200.
Jesus, we got people playing. I look on my console every day and it says Gears of War, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
Is coming.
it doesn't. You don't need an Xbox anymore.
Nope.
Mhm.
The
And that was-
days and
that
the
was
kids,
their
the
decision, too.
generation. I talked to my daughter.
Well-
My daughter's 9 years old, so that's the next generation of gamers. They play on their iPads,
Yeah.
a PlayStation, and a Nintendo, and there's nothing
Nintendo.
else that they use.
Mhm.
There's nothing else. Nothing else
Well,
exists.
Like even if you take the kids out of the equation for a second, you go look at one of the biggest markets in gaming. You go look at Asia. Like when I lived in Korea and I visited Japan, you'd have like a PlayStation wall, a Nintendo wall, and you'd have like a little fucking sliver of a corner for Xbox if they had one. And I'm not even trying to like
Yeah.
boost
No,
this shit
no
up.
No, that's
shade. It's
legit. It's
Like,
exactly how it
legit.
is.
Like they don't care.
No.
They don't care. So like
Xbox moves like 3 units a week in Asia. Let's be real.
But
Yeah.
they would have now. You would go in there and there's a Pokemon wall, a Nintendo wall, another Pokemon wall,
Mhm.
and then maybe a what's
and
that?
a
The other
waifu
one?
wall.
No, the other game that you really like, Matt. The
Persona,
no
Yakuza.
no I can't. It's an anime show that you really like. You collect the cards.
One Piece,
One
Oh,
Piece.
One Piece.
One Piece is huge.
One Piece floor, bro.
It's huge.
You play One Piece?
And then you have PlayStation. And then you don't have an
The card
Xbox
game?
wall.
You
Yeah,
collect
Matt
One Piece
collects the
cards too?
man. Oh yeah, you can get them
Really?
at Walmart, dude.
Oh
I've
my
got
God.
many of these back here. I had a problem last year.
We need to
Dude,
talk,
he-
Matt.
Talk about them before we go through the show
I had a
all
real
the time.
problem.
He
I had a
all
real
the
So
time.
to
problem.
answer Black Wyver's question,
Yeah.
it's
did, though.
it's not.
said the thing
It doesn't
clearly.
really.
No.
It's kind of null in the conversation because other people are looking for other handhelds.
Yep.
This
Yep.
is for
Yep.
enthusiasts and literally people who are just no ROG and love Xbox.
Yeah.
If you want a handheld to play video games, just go buy a Switch.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then again, once I'm sure hopefully PlayStation rolls out their marketing in a way that hits both sides of it, and you're gonna have a new PlayStation handheld that's hopefully great.
Facts.
Let's round out with one last question coming from Deniru, who writes in saying, "Are you guys team
Who's that?
propane or team charcoal when it comes to barbecue?"
Gas.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever cooked on charcoal. I think I've always had a propane barbecue. I don't know if I've ever cooked on a barbecue that was charcoal. So I don't have a
Stop
strong
touching it.
opinion.
Okay, I'm gonna pull my I'm old and
Yeah,
I've been
tell us.
barbecuing and I do this. I like barbecue a lot. There's a difference. Here's the difference between the three. One, gas is way more convenient. So if you can get a gas hookup, Danny,
Facts.
just
Yeah, I have a
go.
natural gas hookup.
Okay,
It's just
then
efficient.
all day long. Now,
Yeah, it's
if
called your
you
butt.
can get a side little egg and do charcoal on the egg,
Yeah, true.
so then you're doing a smoker.
Yeah.
I would
Ooh.
say propane is the biggest pain in the butt, and it
Would you
doesn't
say
add
it's
any
a
value.
propane?
Yeah, seriously. Because you're always filling that damn thing up, and then
Well
what if
done.
you're using it and then it goes out? At least with charcoal or with your
Natural gas.
natural gas, you're never losing your cook, right? You never have to be like, oh, do I have enough propane to make this work?
You
As
pick it
someone
up
that
and
used to have a
put it down
propane
good.
barbecue, now that I have natural gas, I do have a charcoal barbecue for when I go away. Thing I like about my charcoal is one, it's more of a process to cook with. So it's more like,
Yeah.
hey, if you're at a cottage and you're gonna take some time, or if you want to do a smoke, you can let it going. You put some like oak chips in there, and you're gonna have a lot
Yeah.
of difference with it. If you're gonna do a brisket, or you're gonna do some ribs, or you're gonna even do some chicken wings, something you want to slow cook, I would say charcoal is the way it is because nothing can
Yeah.
beat that smell of the charcoal.
That
Like
nice
it's
smoky
Yes.
infusion. Oh,
it's
it's good.
so good. But if you're looking for a good cook and cooking the food properly, all
Yeah.
day long with natural gas. All day long.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
even
I
think
would
twice.
say, yeah, actually, that's a great point because it's not even one or the other. It's like they're used for specific things.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something in every day, then yeah, you're gas.
Yeah, charcoal just takes too long.
It takes too long. And even with a chimney, do you have a chimney, Court? Yeah. So, like, even with a chimney, which is supposed to speed up the process of heating up the coals, it's still pretty time consuming.
I have a mini egg that I take to the cottage. And
Mhm,
that's what it is called, a mini egg. And then
right.
I can do like one rack of ribs on it. And
Mhm.
what I'll do is I'll literally get up in the morning and get it going. And then, get the ambers going.
Slow
And then
cooking that for
put the ribs, put them in tinfoil, throw them in, and just smoke them out. Like I'll smoke them out for like 6 or 7 hours. But other than that, I use natural gas all day long. Propane is just
Yeah.
propane also has a smell to it that I'm just
It is a little bit, yeah. Like, let's
and I
kill
don't like
some.
coming after you.
I find sometimes with a propane you can get an uneven cook.
Yeah. Yeah. I need some of Court's meat.
Yeah, I need some, of course, meat
This
real
this
bad.
is
Yeah, I'm here for that meat too, man.
this
Dude,
is incredible.
I just did I used to do chicken wings on the air fryer, and on Friday night I wanted to do on the barbecue. So I still breaded them and I still did it with the cornstarch. I still did it with the dry rub and everything. And then put them actually on tinfoil onto the barbecue and then put them
Yeah.
on the barbecue and smoked it down and closed the lid. Came out friggin' sexy.
Damn.
Denny, you wrote in with this question. Do you have a strong opinion here?
No, I like food. I generally do natural gas, but I love the benefits of like when you're smoking meat.
Mhm.
But I don't have a smoker yet. Just
What
just
I w-
natural gas grill.
Dude, go to Denny, go to Costco.
Yes,
You
I'm
can
on
get
it.
one for like $40, $50.
Oh,
You get a mini.
oh,
Just
baby.
get a mini because that's all
Yeah,
you
a
need.
small
because
one.
All
you
right,
don't need a
it's
big
your boy.
boy, and then you could literally just put it on your deck and
Yeah.
just like, hey, I'm gonna make ribs today, or get a brisket.
Perfect.
You see a brisket on sale at Loblaws.
Yeah.
Buddy, 9 hours later, you're eating sexy.
Yeah, man.
I think I'm gonna have to go return my copy of Yakuza 0 now. And
You son of a bitch. You're gonna need
Go
something
get a mini egg.
You're gonna need something to play while you fucking smoke there for 9 hours.
But think about it, Matt. You get up in the morning, you make the food. Like I
Oh,
do
no,
this
I
all
know.
the time. I make soup, and then you
I'm
just
with
walk
you.
away. And at dinner
You
time,
ever since you came out to the podcast, Denny, like officially, you all you just want to do is make mom and dad fight.
It's
We're
the
not
best thing to
fighting.
do.
We're
I
not
am the
fighting at
trouble
all.
child.
We're not fighting at
They're
all.
just talking loudly.
They're
I
just
was
talking
just giving him
loudly.
kudos
Court
about
and I
his One
fight? We don't
Piece.
fight. Yeah, we don't fight.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
talking
they
about
don't.
One Piece.
They don't fight. Of course.
No.
Sorry, that's
And
just my trauma
before
talking.
everybody, before anybody gets
Fair
ahead of
enough.
it, I know I'm mom in this situation. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's okay. Go ahead, buy it. You're spoiling the kids.
What do you got, Matt? What do you got for barbecue?
We don't have one actually. We have it like at our family house. It was just a propane that we always used, and since we moved, we just haven't bought one yet.
Yeah,
We just did the new deck and stuff, so like that is on our list.
That's on
for
the list.
summer. But like
Nice.
we have it, we didn't have the space for it before.
if you can't do natural gas, you have to go with propane, and I totally get it because a natural gas hookup ain't cheap. But in the long run, the natural gas would be cheaper. It's
Yeah.
terrible for the environment and you're killing things, but at the same time, the food tastes good.
I think that'll be like a forever house kind of thing. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like once we
100%.
move into a place that we're ready to stay years and years and years and years,
You're gonna have
then I'll worry about natural
Ethernet cable
gas.
throughout the house. You're gonna be
Yeah.
so happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When
I'll
you
call
finally
Jenny.
sell the
That's seven.
PS5 Pro.
Trade it into GameStop and get $4 for it.
For an extra $50 on your Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, sorry, EB Games. That brings us to the end of the show.
My
This
neighbor's
week,
cutting
folks.
his grass at 9:20 at night.
Bro,
What a
it's.
psycho.
I mean,
Bro.
at least it's not hot as hell. Well, I mean, it still probably is at least, but at
Well, that's
least
probably why he's doing it. Forget
Exactly.
it. I'm allowing it.
in
Fair.
in this week in this heat wave week. What is it like? For Wednesday, supposed to be like 40. Feels like
It's supposed to be
48.
So
Get
I'm
fucked,
not,
bro.
so my daughter,
What?
she's not going to school. So
Good.
today is the last week of school. So I'm not putting her tomorrow because schools don't have air conditioning, by the way, for
Jeez.
non-parents out there. There's no air conditioning in school. So she's not going to school tomorrow because it's supposed to be 40.
Mm.
And then not going to school Tuesday. And then she'll go to school Wednesday on the day when it's like 30. And then the last day of school ain't going again because it's supposed to be like 40 again.
Yeah, it's disgusting, man. Well, thanks for
Party's
hanging out with us
disgusting.
and watching Barbecue Showdown and this week's weather report. We appreciate you
Hey.
all as always. Court, where can people see and hear more from you?
You can find me every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Yeah, 8 p.m. on 3 Dads and a Console.
Go check Court out at Three
I
Dads
forget,
and
man.
a Console.
Oh.
Zaddy, Denny, where can people see you?
Oh God. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram. All those are in my link tree. So linktree/Dairyqueen Gaming. If you want to get Richard Dye streaming shirt, you can do them at dkgstore.com.
Ooh, the pro plug.
Look at the pluggy plug.
Let's
Plugging
go,
rice,
let's
my
go.
boy.
Yes, sir. You can follow me on my socials, Linktree, Rice BOYYY TV, mostly on Instagram these
Boy.
days. And if you're following, then you'll know that Stock and Crown and the team have opened up a cafe. We were once a roastery, and now this is a new venture for all of us at work. So,
I
Yeah.
realized that I sell cups.
let's talk.
Who are you using, GFS or Cisco?
Neither. Let's talk.
Okay.
Hey Rice, who's doing
Oh,
your
I just-
security for the store?
Oh, Rice, I just realized I sell dreams. Who's
But is anybody selling a Nintendo Switch 2? Anyway,
Listen,
follow me on my
Just get you
stuff.
cups cheaper. That's all.
Go find Rice at all his spots. And if you're looking for a Switch 2, Denny did send us a picture with two of them in his car, and Rice still has yet to receive his. You can find me over on buttwilo.net. You can of course find me here at Console Creatures. Check out our Death Stranding 2 stuff. My written will be about buttwilo.net tomorrow morning. And you of course will have plenty here on the site here, including a combo with me and Bobby. So go check out all of those things. We'll be back next
Rice,
week.
5
folks.
more minutes. Just wait 5 more minutes. Okay.
Rice, give us like a nice sultry goodbye as that thing pummels your neck.
It's in the back.
No. Bring it back.
Thanks everybody for listening. This is Rice, Matt, Denny, and Court. See you when my meat smokes.
Peace.